What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about The Last of Us Part 1, the features and gameplay trailer, the thing that Naughty Dog obviously released last night. This is going to be my last time talking about this stuff until, we get closer to the game. I'll do my preview series, if I'm getting it, if I'm not getting it. We'll definitely do videos as we go into late August, and then in September, but this is the last time talking about this kind of stuff. So they finally did it. It seems like they were ready to do this anyway. They probably did rush putting it out. I don't think they were gonna upload this at like 5 o'clock on a Thursday night. I think they were gonna probably do it maybe a Monday, Tuesday, maybe today on a Friday, but it seems like they did it obviously purposely because of all the leaks that came out, and a lot of the leaks that we saw came it seems like from this 10-minute trailer. So somebody obviously has the key to Naughty Dog's internal systems. Again, they really need to get that stuff fixed. It's kind of sad that all this stuff has happened. We've seen all the tweets from the developers talking about it. I get it. It's not a good feeling for all this stuff to leak days before when you were actually going to do it. All right, so now the thing is out, and the divide is real. I think it's real across the world stage. It's at 80,000 upvotes and 50,000 downvotes. So that's about 38% of the likes or dislikes is negative compared to positive. So there is a divide. Comments are divided on the trailer. Look, it's what I've been saying. I'm gonna stick to my gut. I'm sticking to what I believe in. Is this game improved? Right? Now, that's something that, because of this 10-minute trailer, I do think the improvements are real. You can very clearly see what they were trying to improve with this game. So are there improvements in The Last of Us Part 1? Yes, a lot of them. A lot of them, and ones that maybe don't make as big of a deal to some as they do to others, right? The accessibility thing is not going to bother you or is not going to impact you in the slightest if you're not doing it, but it's going to impact people that, so there are definitely things, the dual sense, the way the AI works with like flanking and stuff. There is absolutely improvements made to this game. Are there enough improvements made? I'm holding insanely strong. That is your personal opinion, right? $70. The catch with this game is it's a $70 remake that most of the improvements are on visuals. Some on how characters, react and move, and even they talk about how, you as a person, you as the character, your movements have been kind of like more, they've made it more fluid, right? It seems more real. So there are definitely things. It's just, does it matter to you? This is the definitive experience for The Last of Us, but did you play The Last of Us 2013? Did you play The Last of Us Remastered on PS4, right? Where are you in that? And that's obviously what's made people very upset. Now, again, I've come at it from a perspective of, I don't think you needed to have done this. I think like Uncharted could have been remade instead. I think you could have made a brand new game. Clearly, it's a talented team. But, like, did you need to make The Last of Us remake? And, of course, you've seen comparisons to, well, nobody complained with Final Fantasy or with Resident Evil 2 or with Mass Effect. I saw one comparison of Mass Effect. It's like, honestly, this is a game-by-game basis, to be flat out. Because if you're going to compare The Last of Us Part 1 to Mass Effect Legendary Edition, I think something's wrong with you. Because those are not even close to the same things. Honestly, I would argue Final Fantasy VII is not even remotely close. So, really, again, it's a case-by-case basis. And, again, it's up to you. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. $70 to you is different than $70 to somebody else. How you value your money, how you value your time, and whether you think that this is worth it is completely on you. And that's okay. That's actually how it should be. So, I've declared my position. My position is actually still kind of muddy. I very much am 50-50 on this game. I will say, honestly, that it's moved back after seeing this stuff. I can see the improvements. I can see that it's a lot better, but it is still the same base game. The not having the proning, not having dodging, I get that maybe it would involve having to completely like redo the systems of this game. I guess that's too much to ask for. I guess that's too much for them to do. And I don't say that like super, maliciously or aggressively. Honestly, that's how it looks, right? They did as much as they could with making enemies smarter, which is very reminiscent of Part 2, right? They'll flank you, they'll go in different, like that is reminiscent of 2, But then there's obviously things of 2 that, are not here. And I've seen, the argument, and I don't buy it, much like I think a lot of people online. Joel is a 40, 50-year-old man. Of course he can't, go on his, on his belly and crawl. It's like Joel went through like hundreds of enemies in this game. No 50-year-old man's body would even be able to hold up for that. So if we're going to go based off realism, the entire game is going to fall apart really, really quickly. So I suggest we don't do that. But, dodging, not having dodging, having it still be the exact same core gameplay, right? Like when you're moving, and I've talked about this, yesterday, days before, when you're swinging, when you're shooting, it's still the exact same thing. It's not The Last of Us Part 2. And, in some regard, maybe some people think that's fine, and that's okay. And for me, I don't necessarily think it's fine. I really would have liked that, because you talk about this being, and they even said it in the video, like this is very close to, or some aspects of this they want to make better than The Last of Us Part 2, but not aspects that are like, not those aspects, obviously, which again, to some maybe don't mean much, to others maybe do mean it. I'm 50-50. I will not say like I'm buying this game, but I also guess I wouldn't declare that I'm not going to get this game. But the divide is real. I mean, let's not kid around. Let's be respectful, but let's also not kid around that not everybody's on board with this. Also, not everybody is anti this, right? That's an important thing to remember as well. Not everybody hates this thing, and not everybody loves this thing. Honestly, it's continuing that trend. If anything, I think I did see this on Twitter. It's continuing the trend of this split in the Last of Us fandom, which arguably arguably, but I would stand very strong on it, you do not want, right? What happened with The Last of Us Part 2, having that divide, like, sure, it's fine if you like it, it's fine if you hated it. But I don't necessarily think a huge game franchise by the biggest studio Sony has, I don't necessarily think you want that to be divided amongst fandom 50-50, right? It's not good for Star Wars to have a divided fan base. It's not good for The Last of Us /Last of Us Part 2 to have 50-50. Some people absolutely despise that game. Some people loved it. That again, it's okay if you did either or, but I don't necessarily think it's a good thing that it happened. Just like this. I mean, yeah, it's around 65-70%. Maybe it'll average out to of people that like it. And then 30 to 40% that don't. I mean, that's a high range. And again, I don't know if you want. Well, again, it's not. I don't know. I don't think that's a good thing. I just don't think a divide like that on one of your most popular games, brands, IPs, whatever. I don't think that's a good thing. So, they did it themselves. This is their choice, whoever made the decision to do it, and we'll see how it all plays out. We'll see if the talk around it of, all these people complaining and they end up buying it anyway, right? There's that narrative that people have said, oh, you hate it, but you're going to buy the game at the end of the day anyway. Well, maybe some will, maybe some won't, but I'm very interested. Let's see how this thing sells. I'm really, really interested to see how that does. So again, last time I'm doing this, I'll talk about it in my preview series. We'll do more videos on it, but I don't, talking about this kind of stuff, cash grab stuff, this will be the last one. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on. If you want to follow or support me anywhere else, all my social media is in the description below. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all on the next video.